Hi, everybody. Molly, the Purple Door Psychic, coming to you with our next card in our tarot series, Justice. So, unlike Judge Dredd, this is not just I am the law kind of thing, but Justice is, the Justice card, however, is about justice, obviously, but also, karma, accountability, honesty, integrity, everything that you would think that would go along with justice. A lot of ethics, a lot of cause and effect, but just pretty much the card that just is a lot about being about morality, about truth, about honesty, about what the justice system today should be, but not necessarily is all the time. Of course, as we know in reverse, it is injustice, it is a lot of dishonesty, uh, lack of integrity, uh, lack of accountability, a lot of disruption, a lot of just negativity when it comes to morals and ethics. So when you're seeing this card, it truth, law, justice, um, as you can see, represents not necessarily blind justice as we've seen in the courthouses, but just justice in general, with how she's balancing things, how she's balancing logic and order and common sense, which is a flower that does not grow in everyone's garden. But of course, when she's this way, it is, like I mentioned, it's a lot of that kind of lack of accountability, lack of taking the high road, lack of morals, lack of values, and everything. So when you're doing a reading and you see her like this, you're usually dealing with somebody who is very, very moral, somebody who has a lot of ethics, somebody whose moral compass points north about 90% of the time. Someone who is very, very big on karma and consequences and is very, very black and white when it comes to the law. In fact, when I do readings on my daughter, this is the card that pops up the most because that is her personality. I like to call her Little Miss Justice because she is this card when it's in the upright position. However, though, as I mentioned, when you see it in the reverse position and you see it in reading, it's about somebody who may be thinking about doing something dishonest, thinking about doing something that is unethical, thinking about doing something that would go against their moral fiber and the grain of their personality. So this is definitely one that we want to pay attention to when it comes to kind of like the personalities of someone, or when it comes to like decisions that someone's making. We can definitely see it upright in this position when we're looking at kind of like, I keep mentioning the 3 card spreads because it's the easiest one to do, the past, present, and future. uh you know we're looking at, usually upright, this is usually going to be in the past or the present. This way is usually going to be past or future, just depending on how the person is, because I mean they may have been coming from a place where they did seek injustice, where they did seek retribution for something that happened to them in the past. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a bad person or that this is a bad card in a reading. It just gives you more of an insight into that person's personality and what happened in their past, because there may have also been some injustices in their past that they did not necessarily foresee coming, such as a uh, wrongful conviction is one that comes to mind, but also something that came across in a work or personal setting where they felt like they were wronged, that they were, unrightfully accused of something. But also it could be, as I mentioned, a little bit part of their personality where they could have shown some dishonesty, or they could have shown some corruption, or some kind of violation. And yeah, as I mentioned, same thing with personality this way, where the person is genuinely very, very ethical. So you'll see this quite a bit, like I said, especially when you're doing like a reading for a personality reading, when you're trying to get a better determination on the person that you're going to be working with. And we'll talk about those readings a little bit later on. But as I've mentioned before, these are usually for, fun. Oh, here, actually, while I have this in front of me. So I apologize. We are still doing construction in the background. That's why I need this. Okay, so as you can see, this is kind of the 3 card spread. So past, present, future. So you can also do it a bunch of different ways with you, them, the relationship. If you're doing a relationship one, the situation, the obstacle, the solution for somebody who's trying to find ways out of things, mind, body, and spirit, path 1, path 2, path 3, or accept, embrace, and let go. I always like the accept, embrace, and let go better than doing the yellow legal pad with the pros and cons on it, because the accept, the embrace, and let go is kind of like a start, stop, continue, where, these are the things you should start doing, these are the things you should stop doing, and these are the things that you should continue doing. But anyways, before I got a little off track with the 3-card spread, which I will be doing spreads later on. As I keep on mentioning, this is primarily for fun. This is primarily for entertainment. This is not necessarily something that, especially with the justice card being like, oh, justice isn't reverse. Oh, you're a terrible person. You're dishonest. I shouldn't still deal with you. Keep dealing with the people, unless, of course, you get some kind of negative energy from them. Keep dealing with the people and keep working with your cards as much as you possibly can. Keep working with learning them as much as you possibly can. And the best way to do that is not only to, like I said, I mean, this is my son's deck that has the meanings on the top and the bottom, but just the more you work at it, the better you'll be. It's practice, practice, practice. I mean, yes, granted, I am a medium and I pick up on people's auras and their energies and all that other fun stuff, as well as those spirits that are around them. But I try to put all that aside and use just the cards when I do my divination readings, because then it brings me a little bit more insight into the person using the cards rather than using what I like to refer to as my third eye, which is my gift of sight. So, because not everyone will have the ability to see the things that I can see. And honestly, I don't necessarily always have the ability to see the things that other people can see. So that's why I practice as much as I possibly can. I like to do my 3-card readings whenever I can, just depending on whether or not I'm busy. But as I keep on saying, this is right now, this is educational. This is for fun. This is for practice. This is for getting your feet wet and not fully diving into the deep end of tarot readings and becoming a tarot card reader or anything else like that. This is just for fun. And this is also one of those things, as I keep on saying, it's not something to change the entire course of your life over, unless you keep seeing the same cards pop up in different readings. Then that's the universe not necessarily whispering to you, but shouting at you to change some stuff up. So thank you for joining me this week. Next week, we will be working on the Hanged Man, which is another one of my favorite cards. But until then, have a great rest of your week, and blessed be.